Good morning. Today we begin a new week of practices. We're going to be milking Ujjayi breathing and Viloma 3, which is interrupted inhale and interrupted exhale this whole week. And we'll be doing it with variations of partially closed nostrils, both on the inhale or the exhale, with kumbakas after the inhale or after the exhale, and with bandhas at the end of the week while we're doing the kumbakas. So as you may have realized from what I'm doing here, I'm trying to give both some mudra awareness, interlock your fingers, and extend the pinky fingers straight up. All the fingers into the palm, pinky fingers side by side, extended straight up. That's called Sahasrara Mudra, the one for opening up the crown chakra. That's where the part of our Vayana Vayu, or the energetic vibration that surrounds us, you could say electromagnetically, in our aura, sometimes called the circumvent force. I like that name. And also represents the movement interstitially within our own tissues. So that's one for helping to move the prana around both within you and connect you to the cosmic sea of prana all around us, which we're all swimming in. Also try to say something about yoga philosophy, the broader context in which the breath work fits in. I also try to give some tips about sitting, the importance of the asana. And I don't mean the asana in the hatha yoga part, but the asana as related to sitting still for pranayama and meditation. So we begin with the understanding that the Vedas, from the root vid to know, apparently were imported by the Aryans who came in through the Indus Valley and took over the established culture that was there already for a couple of thousand years. And they were doing all the liturgy of their religious teachings in Sanskrit, and that's where all the hymns started coming from. And when you do the hymns, you have to breathe in a certain way because it was oral transmission as they passed it from generation to generation. And the breathing itself had a certain kind of pranayamic effect. Whether or not they then devised the pranayama exercises afterwards, once they recognized the relationship between the breathing and the altered state of consciousness, or whether it was the words, the value of the mantras that they chanted, if the vibrations of the mantras shifted their consciousness. It's all speculation, we don't know. But if you do it yourself, you have the experience, and then you understand, wow, this is very powerful, and I'm feeling pretty peaceful and clear. So we know that the oldest ciphers or seals that we've found, like shards of anthropology or archaeology that come up, have somebody sitting in a cross-legged posture, surrounded by various animals, very shamanic there. And we indicate that a long time ago they understood something about stillness. And so that's what we're replicating ourselves now in the contemporary era. And you have to understand that in the old days, there were two ways that the Vedic teaching basically said you can propitiate the deities, either through the sacrifice and the rituals connected with that, offering to the deities, and then through yoga. And that's what we are doing. And when you get into the samadhi states where there's a certain fusion, so the observer, the act of observing, and the object that is being observed all fuse into one, it's as if an aspect of yourself disappears during that fusion state. And of course, that's tremendous freedom from the thrall, the prison of your own individuality, and your own thought forms, and your own conditioning. And hopefully, if the fusion is deep enough, when you come back into your daily life, you're a different person. That's what we're all doing, right? So basically, when we're saying that we're trying to trace the source of consciousness back to its own roots, that's the human quality that can be guided by something that has the ability to perceive. Awareness, consciousness, attention, being woke, call it whatever you want. So when we talk about pranayama, the ayama part of pranayama, it seems to be like a control, but it's not control like a heavy imposition kind of control. Yes, there's some regulation, yes, there's some restraint, but it isn't so heavy-handed. It has to be done with skillful means, and that's going to increase the amount of energy both that we have available for action and also the tranquility, the calmness, the demeanor, the attitude with which we go about things. All right, so let's get this started today. You're in you're from Sahasrara Mudra. You can release your hands to the roots of your thighs, and remember, it's not only just the lift in your spine, it's the pressing down and rebounding up from the base of the spine. Then you're going to drop your chin into Jalandhara Bandha, and as the chin comes down, the back of the neck stretches up, as does the front of the throat, almost like it's pulling the chin slightly in, but not so hard that it shuts off your windpipe. Then you close your eyes and you take a few restorative breaths to start scanning your body. Now, no digital control today. Open nostrils. On your next exhale, allow your navel to move back toward your spine and begin your long, slow, smooth, and soft inhalation through the nostrils. And long, slow, soft, smooth exhalation in the same way. Now, if you can count off or measure the length of the breath, the depth of the breath, without using numbers or the ticking of a clock, do it internally. And if for some reason that doesn't help you regulate the breath to your own liking, then count numbers and do samavriti. Same wave, same frequency, same depth, same volume, same sound. And keep on going. Continuous cycles of breath. Again, for beginners, always okay to take a stop, do a few restorative breaths, and then go right on in a smooth flow. So, twofold benefit of deep breathing is first, if there's any lack of oxygen, hypoxia, it says in the medical pathology book, all disease is a form of anoxia, not getting enough oxygen, which means somehow the blood is not being transferred to that area because that's what carries the oxygen. That's why my teacher always said respiration and oxygenation, the two keys for all therapeutic healing. So by taking deeper amounts of oxygen, any part of your metabolism that's not functioning well, like a fire in a poor draft, so the oxygen heightens the movement and assimilation of things in the body. But the flip side is the carbon dioxide level. Getting out more carbon dioxide actually helps to keep the pH balance of the blood. So the long, slow, soft, smooth exhalation matching the inhalation, absolutely just as important. So it's not just a matter of oxygen, but we want to do what they call minute ventilation, which is the amount of oxygen that the lungs can receive and give out. Now, as you keep working, you tend to forget the posture. So don't forget that you're lifting the sternum from the bottom to the top. And you're seeing how the upright posture helps keep the chest nice and broad. You want to make sure that the rib cage, the intercostal muscles are expanding laterally and upwards as you breathe. Okay, so that was about 3 minutes of continuous Ujjayi inhale, exhale. And now we're going to pause, take another restorative breath. And now we're going to move on to Viloma 3, which is a combination of interrupted inhale and interrupted exhale. So I'll call off the first one just to remind you. Next exhale, allow your navel to move back. And this is only through the nose now, no digital control. Inhale a little bit. Wait. Inhale again. Wait. Inhale a third time. Wait. If you have any more, breathe in. Wait. And now exhale in reverse. From the top, let go. Wait. Middle lung, let go. Wait. Lower lung, let go. Wait. And all the way down to the base of the stomach. Exhale. And now continue. Control that first inhalation. And if you find that it comes in any kind of way that's not smooth, then don't do as many interrupted exhales till you learn how to control the movement of the breath without forcing, no gasping. And when we're practicing here, they say that pranayama helps you to develop what they call divya deha, the divine body, and the different kinds of muscular contractions that we do, whether it's by holding the torso up or eventually when we do the different bandhas, they push the prana through the body. So keep watching to see how free you are from effort. Muscular effort must be completely reduced so that your ability to stay is not being impeded by tension in the body. Although we're only doing 2 or 3 minutes in a row, you can always do more if time permits. And that's up to you. I'm just giving the template and the reminder of the importance of doing this on a daily basis. So just as we did a matching inhale and exhale in Ujjayi, so that the inhale and exhale were like mirror images of one another, do the same here in the Viloma technique. So if you breathe in for 3 counts or 4 interrupted counts, breathe out for 3 or 4 interrupted counts, same amount of time. You breathe in for a second, you pause for a second. Breathe in for a second and a half, pause for a second and a half. Breathe in 2 seconds, pause 2 seconds. The important thing is to find the way that works for you, that isn't forcing, but also isn't underdoing. And so every time you practice, there's a new variation to keep your attention focused on what you're doing and seeing what you can learn by doing it slightly differently. What's the takeaway? What are you going to gain as a result of that? Or what was the challenge? What do you realize you didn't do well, and then how do you improve that the next time you practice? So we're going to finish the round that you're working on, which ends with the interrupted exhale. And then we're going to do one more round of interrupted inhale and interrupted exhale. Quietness is the master of the deed. Remember your eyes, your drishti is important. So as you're doing it, turn your gaze down. Don't let your eyeballs fly up and flutter around. That will create more waves in the mind. So steadying the gaze is another aspect of creating one-pointedness. So you're not distracted by your eyeball movement. So now after you finish that last interrupted exhale, go back to some restorative breathing, soft, easy rocking action at the belly, passive recoil on the exhale, and then gently, keeping the eyes closed, raise your head up on your spine, and then softly open your eyes. All right, beautiful day today. Hope you enjoy nature outside. We'll be back tomorrow for more. Look forward to hearing from some of you. Call me, email me, text me, whatever. Let's set up a time to get together and chat. All right, love to see you.